Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Students, in this session we'll learn about CRC models in more detail. CRC are a brainstorming tool that are used in the design of object-oriented software, and it aims to design the dynamics of object interaction and collaboration. We can see the formal definition here. CRC modeling provides a simple means for identifying and organizing the classes that are relevant to system or product requirements. Product requirements are being extracted from business requirements in the start of process. Ambler states that a CRC model is a collection of standard index cards that represent classes, and the cards are then divided into three sections. Along the top of the card, you need to write the name of the class, and in the body of the card you list the class responsibilities at its left side and the collaborators on its right side. Here is the visual representation for CRC modeling. See, it is a rectangular block here, and at the top of it the name of the class is written. Then we have a description panel. At the left side we have responsibility, and on its right side we have collaborator. We have considered the example of Safe Home System from Pressman book, and we are considering its entity of floor plan. Now let us see what responsibilities it is sharing with other classes. First, we need to look at the definition of responsibility, that responsibilities are basically the attributes and operations that are relevant for the class. Now in this case, like we are discussing floor plan, so it defines basically the floor plan name or type. It is giving you the information about its attribute. Or it can scale floor plan for display, giving you the information of its display operation. So these are basically the attributes and operations associated with the specific class. Now coming towards the collaborators. Collaborators are those classes basically that are required to provide a class with the information needed to complete a responsibility. Or in general you can say that collaboration implies either a request for information or a request for some action. Like in this case, if you look here, that it incorporates walls, doors or windows. It is requiring the assistance of wall class, so we have placed wall against it at the collaborator side. Or you can see that showing the position of video cameras, so it definitely requires the assistance of camera, and we have placed camera at the collaborator side. We have different class types in general, and first is entity class, second one boundary classes, and the third is control classes. Now what are entity classes? Basically that these are the model or business classes that are directly extracted from the problem statement. Or entities are basically the objects that represent system data, and the kind of that system data is persistent in nature. We can take an example of floor plan or sensor. These are the main entities for Safe Home System. Boundary classes, basically these are used for creating an interface between a user and the entity objects. Any entity objects contain information that is important to user, but they do not display themselves. So the boundary classes are designed with the responsibility of managing the way entity objects are represented to users. For example, you can take a boundary class of camera window, which would have a responsibility of displaying surveillance camera output for Safe Home System. Now coming to the control classes, basically these are the mediators between the boundary classes and the entity classes. Or you can say control classes act as a messenger who is responsible of taking the message from boundary class and then deliver it to the entity class, where the processing will be enabled, and then the final output will be shown again back to the boundary class. So the design concept behind control classes is like we are discussing the creation or updation of entity objects, or we can say the instantiation of boundary objects as they obtain information from the entity objects. Instantiation of any boundary object comes in this category. Thirdly, we see that complex communication between sets of objects. And the last, like we validate the data that is communicated between objects or between the user and the application. Responsibilities in generally we have seen that encapsulates attributes and operations. Now in this slide we are having some of the guidelines for responsibilities. First is system intelligence should be distributed across classes to best address the need of problem like cohesion. It means that if you concentrate all of the intelligence or all of the responsibilities in a same class, that would result in a master-slave system, like all the other classes will be dependent on the main class. Though the flow is very straightforward in it, but it has some limitations. As we have concentrated all of the intelligence in a single class, so the changes in it can be difficult. We can't make changes frequently as it will affect all the elements of it. So to reduce cohesiveness, we distribute the system intelligence across all the classes in a smooth fashion. The second point, each responsibility should be stated as generally as possible. It means that basically it implies that general responsibilities like both attributes and operations should reside high in the class hierarchy because they are generic and they all apply to all subclasses as well. The third point is information and behavior related to it reside within the same class. It refers to the concept of encapsulation, that is data hiding. You need to reside the class information in the particular class.